What is up, everyone? So it's been a pretty crazy couple months down here, and it's been awesome. It's been fun. I love being productive, but it's caused me to put a couple of things on the back burner to try and keep up. Now that we're kind of caught up with a lot of the bigger things, Ann and I were looking around trying to figure out where we should spend the next couple of weeks. And I noticed I haven't shown like any attention to one of the most badass cars on my channel, and that is my E36. So if you guys are newish to the channel, this is probably one of the most OG cars on the channel itself. So this originally was a 325 automatic, like base model E36, but it was from Japan. So it's right-hand drive, which is cool because you don't really see that very often. So when I found this, I was stoked. And on top of that, it's a slick top. If you guys know anything about BMWs, the fact that we have a slick top is probably one of the cooler factors. Probably cooler than the fact that it's right-hand drive. So it's had a couple different drivetrains and it's been gone through many, many times. At this point, it's fully M3 converted. The only thing that's not M3 about it at this point is the VIN, right?
What's a couple numbers?
What's a couple numbers, right? So the last thing we left off was we put a fully built S50 engine in it with a big old Precision 6266. We dynoed it on pump gas. It made amazing numbers. We still have the dyno on ethanol, but the weather was crappy out, right? So we put it in the corner, waiting for some good weather, and we just got caught up with everything else, and now it's been sitting. The car definitely needs a couple little things to really dial in, and obviously a paint job, but there's one major problem that's been really driving me nuts for a very long time, and I think today we should finally address it. This car makes over 500 horsepower, and it's got room to make even more, but right now, all we have is a little 215/40 tire on it.
That ain't no good.
That ain't good. We don't have any grip. So we make all this power now and it doesn't do anything with it. And the big problem is we really can't fit much underneath these quarters. The stock body E36, very skinny. Now there's ways around it, right? There is a specific fitment that people have figured out to get a big tire underneath these things, big tire. But realistically, the only wheels that are gonna fit that are the same 3 wheels that everyone has been putting on E36s forever. And it's not that I care to be different. Like, I don't care about being different. You like what you like, right?
I guess that's true.
Right? I don't know. Like, some people just fixate and be different. Well, I don't care about it. What, if you like it, you like it. Who gives a shit? But I'm just sick of the look. I'm so goddamn sick of those 3 wheels that fit. The 17x9 plus 40 that everyone does with 245, 45 on it. It's like, it's been figured out, all right? I've done my research and I don't want to do that. Plus, I am obsessed with these wheels. My Eclairs, these are rare wheels. They look so good on the freaking thing and I want to rock them. But the only way to rock them is be on a Stench tire. Unless we do what, Ant?
Cut those quarters.
Cut those damn quarters.
Let's cut them.
I don't know. I've had these things sitting around for a very long time and I haven't mustered up the courage to do anything with them. So today, I'm asking for your help.
If you know, you know.
How am I not open this box? Well, as you guys should probably already tell, this is a full over-fender kit for my E36. Bought these in preparation for the day. We might have to cut this thing up. Now, I didn't just buy any over-fender kit. This ain't no eBay kit. What I bought is a Don Musk kit. And if you guys know, you know. Don Musk is one of the biggest gangsters out there, and he makes beautiful kits. And what I like about the Don Musk kits is not only the high quality, but they fit amazing, and they retain the factory BMW body lines better than anyone else does. So it doesn't fully replace fender, which is nice because you get to keep the factory like metal door lines and everything like that, but it kind of just clicks right over. And it's been sitting in a box for a long time, so it's gonna take a little bit to kind of get it into place.
Persuade them.
So check it out. So as you can tell, they're not huge. It just gives you a little bit more room for a little bit more tire so you can really get these things planted. It goes all the way down to the molding, and the molding kind of separates the body, so you don't really notice it too much. So this is my first time fitting this, by the way, so. Well, let's check out how the rear looks. I put it on a little crooked. I just want to be able to see it. It's nice because it thickens it up, but it doesn't like distort it. Brian, what do you think?
Okay.
Yeah, just
I gotta look. First thing that I see that I like a lot is the arch is a lot more radiused.
That is true.
I mean, is typical BMW fashion as they always look lower in the rear.
That's
and
true.
This is kind of the reason
that's
why.
true, yeah.
Because the front fenders have quite a bit more radius because, I mean, they're designed
So you could we could level out the chassis without having it look raked. Wow.
Yeah.
Mr. Musk really does his thing. That's actually really cool. I didn't even think about that.
do have the typical kind of lumpy waviness that you get in fiberglass. but it's a lot more shallow than it normally is. And just the fact that they do it in black shows you that this dude, like, he ain't worried about it.
No,
you know what I mean?
Because usually you get them in white.
They're always white.
They're always white, which hides everything.
Everything. You can't even see anything when you're sanding it. Half the time people paint fiberglass, they think it's coming out great. They put the first coat of paint on it and they're like, oh my God. Honestly, I'm pretty impressed. I don't think I'd do anything different.
Hugs, the molding's so tight. The door line's super straight, if you could see it. Same with the fender line. Not bad, dude. Not too bad.
Cut it up.
All right, so here's the dilemma. I do not want to cut this car up. You guys know I don't like over fenders. On my S13, the over fenders work because they have a purpose. The car is made for that purpose at this point. Now, the E36, it's a straight car. It's got good metal on it. The fenders are a little flared from me being an idiot over rolling them, but do I cut the car up or not? That's what I need. I need you guys to either help convince me to or convince me not to. I just don't want to run the same Apex wheels that everyone runs. I'm so sick of that look. Maybe I could find something else. I proactively look and I can never find anything. I don't know. I guess, like, you know, if we panel bond these, honestly, even if we just do a couple rivets, once they're color matched, they probably won't stick out too much. But it's just like once you cut them, you like can't uncut them. I don't know. My front fenders are a little spanked, so it kind of gets me away from having to buy new front fenders. And my rear quarters, I distorted them so bad, just being an idiot and being frustrated and just look at it. So I guess what a lot of guys are probably suggesting right now, and I see it a lot, is molding in like an E46 flare, right? Because the E46 has way bigger flares. So these aren't stock fenders, you get the idea. A lot of guys will take the front fender arch because they're huge, these are bigger, all right? And they'll actually graft them onto the E36 front and rear. The front's not too bad with the rear. It's a lot of work and it's not something I'm good at. And will Brian have the time to do that anytime soon? Probably not. I'm going crazy. It's driving me nuts. Let me know what you guys think. Well, it's been sitting for God knows how long. Love that.
Runs like a charm.
Thing's making like 560 horsepower, I think we left off. But it feels like nothing because it doesn't grip it at all. I think the throttle pedal's all messed up. Nothing, Ant. Nothing. I think the throttle blade's only opening partially, so. Holy shit! There we go. Man, I want to feel that gripped up so bad. Do it again, full throttle. Yeah. Look at the K-truck. Yes, brother. The crazy thing is, we still have room to make like another 200 horsepower. All right, well, Ant was super unenthused by the BMW. I will fix the throttle. And honestly, like right now, it looks so derpy at this height with this fitment. I don't know when we're gonna, if and when we're gonna cut this up. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna slam this thing. At least it might not be fast, it'll sound cool, and it'll look cool. So let's put this thing back on its nuts. Sound good?
Sounds good.
So we discovered a new issue, which is what happens whenever you work on cars. So you see this bolt right here? Can you see it? Mm-hmm. Goes through the coilover into the knuckle, and the knuckle's threaded. People cross-thread these their whole lives, and they get really worn. So check it out, ready? Lefty loosey, righty Lucy. Looks like we get to go try and find a helicoil kit. Sick. You know what? It was $82. Oh man, they better buy me dinner later, dude.
Fuck, dude. It's just what it is. Are you videographing him getting?
Oh yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good one, bro.
No.
That's a hefty mistake.
Hefty mistake. Have a good day, guys.
Have a good one, boss.
So what stripped out is the knuckle that took off the M3. So the previous owner did me dirty, but I get it because it's really easy to cross thread those things. And after like what, one cross thread, the threads are gone. So.
Hey, what was he thinking? I'm never taking this back.
I'm never taking this back off. We had to stop and get the intern some wieners.
Couple hot dogs.
Couple glizzies.
Glizzies.
Not like a couple wieners to really cheer you up, huh?
Ain't that the truth?
We got the works.
Yes.
That looks like a piece of art there.
Look at that.
Look at Drew. Drew's leaving in the camper.
Wheeling and dealing.
Jugging and finessing.
Wheeling and dealing.
So if you guys don't know what a heel coil is, I'm about to show you. So check it out. See a little coil right there? So essentially what we're doing is we're gonna be drilling out what's there. We're gonna be tapping it for a bigger thread, and then we're gonna put this little coil in that then steps it down to a smaller thread, right? Make sense?
Drill it bigger.
Drill it
step
bigger.
down smaller.
Tap it. Thread cert. Good to go. So now we gotta tap it. All right, well, we'll get back to you guys in an hour. I think we have officially bottomed out here. So this is the trickier part to the whole process, actually inserting the thread itself. Comes with the fancy tool this time, in here, right? So it starts to line the thread up for you, and you have to chase this into the knuckle now. Oh, feels like it's going in smooth this time.
It looks very smooth.
There you go. There's new threads inside there. Maybe not, maybe you can't see it. Do you have one of the bolts?
You could see it a little bit, yeah.
Oh, that's crispy.
That's good.
It is really good. Big fan of that. Perfect. There we go. Nice work.
That ain't going nowhere.
Let her down, Aunt. That's a lot better.
Slam it to the ground, dude.
Might as well.
Make Aiden proud.
I can live with that. Now, let's handle this. You gotta love when you can get to the coil over without taking the wheel off. And when you can spin it by hand,
It's even better.
it's even better. Hey. See? That looks better. Being good as great?
Oh, yeah.
Love that. That feels more at home. Is it really?
The wheel lip in the fender.
No, is it really rubbing that bad?
Fender to lip, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh man, that's lower than I thought.
Dude, it settled a lot.
It settled a lot more. I remember you being able to take the whole thing out and it was fine. I guess I was wrong.
I mean, it works.
It works. It looks good, right? So look, if you're gonna be about it, be about it. Look at this thing. See, it's not a bad gig.
No, God's motor, you know? In my opinion. You might say SR, but God touched by the tune God himself to make my car run right.
Get your shit together.
Come on.
I shouldn't be talking. Look how dusty my car is. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Must be nice to be one color. Well, it looks pretty damn good wet. So, is it as functional? Not at all. Does it look a lot better? For sure. I mean, it looks like the wheels fit. It's a look. It actually feels a lot more planted with it lower like this, so it's got its gives and takes, but as you guys can tell by probably the whole mood of this video, it's just been driving me nuts. I can't decide. Like, I think about it for 10 minutes and I'm like, no, I'm cutting it up. I think about it for another 10 minutes, I'm like, no, I can't cut it up. And I just keep going back and forth. I can't make up my mind. So let me know what you guys think. I know it's my car and I should just make the decision myself, but I mean, really, it's been killing me. Yay or nay?
Oh, definitely yay. What?
Yes, I like the energy.
I'm actually about to do over fenders on my car.
Yeah, cut it
I'm not happy with the body work I did, so yeah. I'm just gonna, you know.
When in doubt, cut it out.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go, boys. we got a vote from Don. And look, it's shiny now.
I mean,
kinda.
when it's sitting like this.
It's not too shabby. Still,
Sure you don't want to sell it?
talk to me nice, Don. But for now, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. This thing has me going crazy. In the meantime, I'm just gonna enjoy it as is, start driving around because I haven't been. Why the heck not? It's registered, right? So, you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. And Donovan, ma'am.
Have a good night.